I'm locked into the university, beta brace at 3 a.m. Searching for a cure or a way to condemn the way your laugh still echoes in the silence, building holes while I'm hitting every limit and climbing all the walls. I've got 15 tabs open, but none of them show how to unlearn a person you spent years getting to know. Researching how to forget every detail of your face, citing sources on how to leave this empty space. I'm looking for a formula, a thesis, or a sign that I can rewrite the history of when you were mine. The data says it takes time, but the data feels like a lie when I'm researching how to forget, and all I do is cry. I'm reading care-reviewed journals on the chemistry of grief, looking for a paragraph that offers some relief. I've highlighted the abstracts, I checked the bibliography, but there's no scholarly article on you and me. I'm a master of the search bar, but a failure at the heart. Is there a keyword I missed, a search term I skipped, a secret manuscript, or a handwritten script? Because the more that I look for a way to erase, the more I find footnotes of your beautiful face. Clicking close, I wonder, shutting down the screen, feeling like a ghost in a machine. The library clock says it's time to move on, but I'll still researching how to forget, even though you're gone. Yeah, you're already gone. I'm sweeping up the kitchen floor at 2:30 a.m., picking up the jagged bits of us and him and them. The first one was a heavy stone, it bruised me to the bone. The second was a falling leaf, a soft and lonely tone. But you were supposed to be the one who finally learned to stay. Instead you're just the third wind that blew the house away. I'm walking on these edges, trying not to leave a trace, but there's a map of every heartbreak written on my face. Now I'm just brittle glass and old promises kept in the dark, searching for a fire when I've run out of every spark. 3 times I bared my soul and 3 times the windows broke. Now my heart is just a chimney filled with cold and bitter smoke. One more I love you is a weight I cannot pass. I'm shattering in silence. There's a ghost of a ring finger shadow on the nightstand by They say that glass is forged in fire, made to stand the heat. But I've been burned so many times, I'm tasting the defeat. You can't fix a window once it's turned to silver dust. And I've run out of the mercy, and I've run out of the trust. Now I'm just brittle glass and old promises kept in the dark, searching for a fire when I've run out of every spark. 3 times I bare my soul, and 3 times the windows broke. Now my heart is just a chimney filled with cold and bitter smoke. One more I love you is a weight I cannot pass. I'm shattering in silence. Is a weight I cannot pass. I'm shattering in silence. Handle with care, that's what the sign should say. But there's nothing left to handle since you walked away. Just brittle, so brittle, so brittle. I'm staring at the signal bars, watching them go gray. Just like the way you folded up and moved the world away. The first one was a dial tone, a sudden sharp goodbye. The second was a busy signal, a slow and tired lie. But this, the third, is heavier, a frequency that's blown. I'm listening to the white noise of a life lived on my own. I keep checking for a typing sign that never starts to show. Just a ghost inside the circuitry that won't let go. And now it's just static on the line, salt inside the wound. A symphony of empty space, perfectly out of tune. I've reached out through the darkness 3 times. I felt the snap of a heart that's tired of falling through the same old jagged gap. Don't tell me that you hear me, I'm tired of coming home. The connection's dead and buried. It's just static on the phone. I recorded every whisper, I saved every goodnight. But the digital is fading, losing all its light. How can 3 different people leave the exact same hollow sound? Like a radio is screaming while it's buried underground. I'm searching for your frequency, but the air is thick and cold. I'm holding on to copper wires I was never meant to hold. Is it me? Am I the interference? Am I the broken tile? Losing signal, losing faith, losing every hour. I'm shouting into satellites, hoping for a spark, but all I get is crackle and the humming of the dark. And now it's just static on the line, salt inside the wound. A symphony of empty space, perfectly out of tune. I've reached out through the darkness 3 times. I felt the snap of a heart that's tired of falling through the same old jagged gap. Don't tell me that you hear me, don't say you're coming hear that crack? That's the sound of letting go. Crackle. The third time is the silence that I finally have to know. Just static, just the automatic doors. It's like a long tired sigh as I try to find a corner where I don't have to lie. The barista knows my order, but she doesn't know my name. Oh, that since you left this campus, nothing feels the same. I'm staring at the cracks in the foam of my cup, too afraid to look around, too hollow to look up. It's just caffeine and crying in a cardboard sleeve, trying to find a reason not to pack my bags and leave. The espresso's bitter, but it's sweeter than the truth that I'm losing all my magic in the middle of my youth. One hand is shaking from the sugar and the cold, while I'm holding on to the stories that will never get to fold. Yeah, it's caffeine and crying till the sun goes down. I saw your bike outside, or maybe just one like it. My heart did a sprint, but I had to strike it from the record of a day that I'm barely getting through, between a triple shot of coffee and a double shot of you. I'm doodling your initials on a napkin made of lace, just to see if I can still map the lines upon your face. They say the jitters will pass and the tears will eventually dry, but they've never seen a soul say a permanent goodbye in a fluorescent graveyard where the beans are always burned, and the hardest lesson is the one I haven't learned. The bell above the door rings for someone new, but I'm still sitting here brewing over you. My cup is empty and the steam is long since gone, just caffeine and crying while the world moves on. Yeah, I'm just moving on without you. I'm becoming an expert at the goodbye stare, the way the light leaves a room when you're not there. The first time was a lightning strike, a sudden burning end. The second was a slow decay, a break I couldn't mend. But this one feels like the air just ran out, the final flicker of a flame I'm learning to live without. Welcome back to the graveyard of forever, where every always goes to die. I'm digging a third hole in the frozen dirt underneath the hollow bruising sky. I thought 3 was a charm, a reason to believe, but it's just another name carved upon my sleeve. In the graveyard of forever, the headstones are all mine, and I'm running out of room to draw the line. I got a closet full of ghosts and sweaters I can't wear. I've got a habit of reaching for a hand that isn't there. They say the heart is a muscle, it gets stronger when it breaks, but mine is just a mosaic of 1,000 old mistakes. I'm tired of being the one who stays to watch the dust settle down, the king of a quiet, empty, 3-time broken town. 1 was a lesson, 2 was a scar, 3 is the wall that hides the stars I used to plant roses. Now I just pave the floor because I can't survive the digging anymore. Rest in peace, the way you said my name. Rest in peace, the spark that became a flame. I'm closing the gate, I'm turning the key. In the graveyard of forever, it's just a ghost in me. I'm hitting the books, but the ink is starting to blur. Every definition leads me back to the way we were. I've got your old syllabus tucked inside my folder, and the air in this study hall is getting 10 degrees colder. I'm highlighting the memories instead of the text, just a broken-hearted student wondering what's next. 'Cause I'm studying your ghost in the middle of the night, under the flicker of a dying library light. I'm memorizing shadows where your silhouette should be, trying to solve the math of how you gave up on me. I've mastered the art of the long distance stare at a heavy wooden table in an empty wooden chair. I went to a coffee cart and ordered for 2. Then I had to tell the barista I didn't mean you. I'm failing my classes, but I'm acing the pain, walking through the quad in the freezing November rain. Your name is the only word that I still know how to spell. Is there a scholarship for sorrow, a degree in being blue? Because I'm a doctoral candidate in the science of losing you. I've read every chapter of the why you had to leave, and I'm wearing my diploma on my tear-stained sleeve. Close the heavy cover, turn the final page. I'm just a lonely actor on a university stage. The library is closing, and the janitor is near, but I'm still studying your ghost, and I'm still stuck here. Thought the skin was getting thicker with the years that I had cried out all the salt inside my tears. The first one left a shadow, the second left a scar. But you were supposed to be the one who fixed the broken parts. Now I'm standing in the kitchen, staring at the wall, realizing that the third time is the hardest way to fall. And it's just salt in the third wound, stinging in the dark, tearing through the stitches and the quiet of my heart. They say that three's a lucky number, a charm to break the spell, but it's just another story that I'm far too tired. The first two were a warning, but this one is the truth. There's no more healing left inside the wreckage of my youth. Just salt in the third wound. I've memorized the pattern of the moving boxes on the floor. I know exactly how it feels to lock a final door, but this time feels like static, a dull and heavy ache, like a bridge that's been rebuilt just to see how much it takes. I'm a gallery of almost, a museum of the end, and I've run out of the spirit to try and start again. Once is a tragedy, twice is a mistake, but three times is a habit that I didn't mean to make. The water's getting higher, the air is getting cold, and happily ever after is a lie that's getting old. Pour the salt in, let it burn. I guess there's nothing left to learn, just a bitter taste where your kiss used to be. One, two, three, and now there's nothing left to me. Yellow ink on a white page, but I can't see the lines. Just the way you looked at me 1,000 different times. I'm sitting in the student union, drowning in the noise, trying to find the girl I was before I lost my poise. I try to mark the theories, the facts and the law, but all I see are the cracks in us, the only things I saw. Now I'm just highlighting the hurt and neon shades of blue, writing in the scars left behind by you. Every paragraph I read is a chapter we outgrew. I'm staining every memory with a glow that's bittersweet, between the textbook margins and the empty campus street. It's a neon map of everything we burn, just a broken heart, highlighting the hurt. The fluorescent buzz above me is the only song I know, since you walked across the quad and told me you had to go. I'm circling the dates on the calendar on the wall, waiting for a miss you or a late night dorm room call. But the cap is off the marker and the ink is running dry. If I color in the darkness, will it turn it into light, or am I just making it easier The professor's talking stochastic past and random minds. But I'm just staring at the space where your sunlight used to shine. I still arrived 10 minutes early just to claim your favorite spot. Then I realized I'm caught in air for a love that time forgot. My pen is hovering mid-air, but I've lost the will to write. It's the empty desk beside me that's shouting out your name. In a hall of 300 people, nothing feels the same. I'm taking notes on silence, and I'm majoring in gone. Trying to find a rhythm to keep moving blindly on. The lecture's moving forward, but I'm frozen in the aisle. Just an empty chair where I used to see your smile. I see your handwriting in the margins of my borrowed book. I'm terrified of how long or forever actually took. Every shared elective feels like a sentence I must serve. I'm crashing on the straightaways and dying on the curve. I still look left to whisper, but there's no one there to hear. Is it weird I leave my bag there so no one else can sit? Like if I keep the space for you, you'll come back and fill it. But the attendance sheet is passed around and your name isn't there. Just a cold hard plastic of a lonely yellow chair. The bell rings like a funeral for the plans we used to make. And I'm the only one who's staying for the lingering. Pack my bag up slowly, walk out into the rain, and leave the empty desk to hold the weight of all my pain. I built a hole out of promises and stationary sheets, folded back the corners where the hope and sorrow meet. The first one hit the rapids and it vanished in the foam. The second hit the jagged rocks a mile away from home. But I used the finest paper for the love I felt for you, thinking third time was a bridge that I could finally walk through. Now I'm launching paper boats into a hurricane, watching every I love you get heavy in the rain. I'm a captain of the fragile, a sailor of the weak, searching for a harbor that I'm not allowed to seek. 3 times I have set the sail, 3 times I have lost the shore. But you can't fight a cyclone with a paper heart, no more in the eye of the storm. I'm just drifting on the pain, launching paper boats in a hurricane. The ink is starting to bleed out. The words are turning gray. The forever that you whispered is just melting all away. I thought if I folded it tighter, the edges might hold fast. That a love this thin and delicate was finally meant to last. But the wind doesn't have mercy on a thing so light and small. And the higher that I build the mast, the harder that I fall. One was for the innocence, two was for the pride, three was for the desperate ghost still shivering inside. The waters in the creases, the white is turning black, and there's no lighthouse signal that can guide a paperback. Just a scrap of paper floating in the dark. The third time didn't leave a trail, it only left a mark. Fold it up, let it go into the hurricane. I thought the price was paid in full back then, after the first goodbye and then never again. The second one took what the first one missed. A little less light in the way we kissed, but I saved a small corner, a quiet holy place, thinking the third time I'd find a saving grace. But the dead is due and the sky is turning black, and I got nothing left for you to take back. It's a triple toll, the heavy cost of three, the final lock turning on the ghost of me. One for the spirit, two for the mind, but the third one took what was left to find. They say the charm is lucky, they say the stars align, but I'm just paying for a love that isn't mine. Yeah, the triple toll is breaking me tonight. I'm a seasoned traveler of this lonely road. I know how to carry the weight of the load, but the wheels are coming off on this third turn. There's not enough wood for another bridge to burn. I've memorized the silence, I've mastered the ache, but three is the number where the foundations break. I gave you the harvest, I gave you the seed. Now I'm just the hunger and the desperate need. Isn't my heart a graveyard or a revolving door? I can't tell the difference in the wreckage anymore. Is there a tax on the hope that I try to keep? Because the interest is high and the valley is deep. Counting the losses like a rosary of pain, praying for the sun while I'm drowning in the rain. It's the triple toll, the heavy cost of three, the final lock turning on the ghost of me. One for the spirit, two for the mind, but the third one took what was left to find. They say the charm is lucky, they say the stars align, but I'm just paying twice for the boy you didn't see, and ring it a third time for the vacancy. Paid in full, the triple toll. I'm finally empty, body and soul. Body and soul. The walls are getting crowded with the frames I had to take down. I'm becoming a local ghost in this lonely part of town. The first one was a fever dream, a reckless young mistake. The second was a slow burn, a quiet hollow wake. But you were the final answer, so I told my soul. Now I'm staring at a third dent in a heart that's lost control. I'm living in the shadow of a third love lost, counting up the damage and the bitter heavy cost. They say the sun comes out eventually, but all I see is gray as the third light of my life begins to flicker and fade away. It's a long cold walk when the triple crown is broken, and the best parts of my history are words better left unspoken. Just a silhouette of us in the shadow of the end. I've got the art of letting go down to a science now. I don't even ask the universe the why or when or how. I just watch the space beside me grow wide and terrifyingly deep, collecting promises that neither of us had the strength to keep. 3 times I paved the road, 3 times the ground gave in. I'm running out of places for the healing to begin. One was a spark, 2 was a flame, 3 was the fire that called me by name. Now I'm just the charcoal, the soot upon the floor. I don't think I can open up that heavy wooden door. In the shadow where the forever used to be, there's a third empty chair and a much colder version of me. Just a shadow. Just a shadow. Used to have a heart where the rhythm of a pulse should be, but the seasons changed too fast and took the best of me. The first frost took the blossoms, the second killed the leaves. Now I'm staring at the barren branches, shaking in my sleeves. I thought keep a spark alive that wasn't even there. I'm an expert at the numbness, a master of the cold. The story of the third time charm is a lie that's getting old. They say that snow can insulate, it keeps the earth alive, but I'm not sure how much of me is left here to survive. The ground is hard as iron, the sky is made of lead, and every warm memory is a bird that's fallen dead. Turn the heater off, let the frost take the floor. I won't be opening the door for a fourth one anymore. It's just winter, deep dark winter in my chest. Ooh, in my chest. The cap is on the dresser, the gown is in the trash. 4 years of our fire turned into cold gray ash. I walked across the stage today, I heard them call my name, but without you in the front row, it didn't feel the same. Everyone is cheering, throwing flowers in the air, while I'm looking at the empty space where you were supposed to stare. I learned about the stars, learned about the laws, but no one taught me how to live with all these broken flaws. I got a degree in heartache, a minor in the blues. I spent my tuition just to learn how much I lose. I'm a graduate of silence, a master of the pain, standing in the sunlight, feeling only rain. Yeah, the paper says I'm ready, that I made it through the mess, but I'm just a valedictorian of loneliness. We planned the after party, we picked out every song. Now I'm sitting in my driveway wondering where it all went wrong. The photos on my phone are like a curriculum of us now. They're just digital shadows turning into dust. I passed the finals, baby, I made the honors list, but I traded for the one October night that we first kissed. Throw the tassels to the left, say goodbye to every hall. Watch the shadows of our youth start to crumble and fall. I'm overqualified for missing you. I've done the work, I've paid the dues. I've got a degree in heartache, a minor in the blues. I spent my tuition just to learn how much I lose. I'm a graduate of silence, a master of the pain, standing in the sunlight, feeling only rain. Yeah, the paper says I'm ready, that I made it through the mess, but I'm just a valedictorian of loneliness. Class is over, the lights are out. I'm the smartest guy in the room who still hasn't figured you out. Just a diploma. Just a diploma. starting to recognize the shadow on the wall, the way the air gets heavy just before the fall. The first one was a lesson, a wild and sudden sting. The second was a winter that killed the hope of spring. But I thought you were the healer, the one to break the chain. Instead, you're just the latest architect of pain. Now there's a third ghost walking through my hall, another name I whisper to the silence of the wall. I thought the charm was coming, I thought the luck was due, but now I'm just a haunted house full of memories of you. One for the sorrow, two for the grief, and a third ghost to prove that love is just a thief. To hang these heavy frames, a gallery of faces and a litany of names. The third time was the limit, the end of the line. I gave you every piece of what was left of mine. I didn't see it coming, I didn't know the ghost was already waiting for the one I love the most. Is there a curse on the way that I feel, or is my heart just a target made of steel? 3 times I opened, 3 times I bled. Now I'm just sleeping in a crowded bed of every promise that we ever made, watching the colors of forever start to fade. And a third ghost to prove that love is just a thief. The first one still lingers, the second one cries, and the third one just looks at me with your eyes. No more try agains, no more me and you. I'm done with the trinity, with being black and blue. Just me and my 3 ghosts. I'm starting to recognize the second one cries, and the third one just looks at me with your eyes. No more try again, no more me and you. I'm done with the trinity of being black and blue. Just me. And my 3 ghosts. third time was the lucky charm, the one to keep the winter from my bones. I built a lighthouse with these tired arms, just to watch it crumble into stones. The first one left a bruise, the second left a scar, but you were supposed to be the shore. Now I'm drifting further than the farthest star. I don't think I can do this anymore, and I'm anchored to a sinking love, pulling me down into the deep, while you're the sky up high above, with promises you didn't keep. The weight of us is more than I can carry, a heavy chain of used to be. I'm anchored to a sinking past, and the ocean's swallowing me. The water's cold and the light is getting dim. I'm breathing in the salt of every tear. I'm learning how to drown, not how to swim, while you just watch me disappear. 3 times I gave my soul away for free. 3 times the tide has pulled it back. Now there's nothing left inside of me, just the echo of a heart about to crack. They say the rule of threes is kind, but they never felt this iron bind. The ghost of you is a leading way, dragging me down to a lonely fate. Yeah, I'm anchored to a sinking love, pulling me down into the deep, while you're the sky up high above, with promises you didn't keep. The weight of us is more than I can carry, a heavy chain of used to be. I'm anchored to a sinking past, and the ocean swallowing me. Let the current take what's left of a heart 3 times bereft, going down, down. I'm just a ghost in the sun. I thought I learned the rhythm of the fall, how to brace my soul against the wall. 1 was a lesson, 2 was a scar, 3 was the wish on the dying star. I paved the road with everything I had, thinking maybe this time won't be bad. But the lightning strikes the same place every time. The mountain's just too steep for me to climb. I'm a master of the goodbye, a ghost in the hall, building up the tower just to watch it all fall. They say the 3rd time's a charm, but it's just more harm. I'm still reaching time still isn't the charm. No, the third time still isn't the charm. I've got three different ghosts in my head, three different I love yous left unsaid. The first one broke the skin, the second hit the bone, but this one left me here truly alone. I'm running out of ink to write these tragedies. I'm running out of ifs and maybes. Is there a part of me that likes the rain, or am I just addicted to the same old pain? I close the door, I lock the gate, but I'm still standing here tempting fate, counting to three like a funeral bell. Welcome back to my familiar head. Once for the hope, twice for the fear, three times for the salt in every tear. The rule of three is a lie I bought. I'm exactly where I thought, still out in the cold, still losing the charm. No, the third time still isn't the charm.